Welcome back to Insight. It is Financial Friday, so we are joined by Casey Weed from Howard Bailey Financial, and we are talking today about pension buyouts. We're hearing a lot about pension buyouts these days. Why is that?
Yeah, we are. We're seeing this more and more today, and this is pretty much because of what's happened over the last 10, 12 years. If we see what's going on in the economy, this has put a lot of stress on those pension funds that provide those guaranteed pension payments, which we're not really seeing too much anymore, and the ones that have been in place are starting to go away, and that's a result of a slower economy that's put pressure on profits, and also the market that has really torn a good chunk of these pension funds away and made it really tough for them to meet those pension obligations. And we're seeing companies like FedEx, widely GM's been in the news lately, Sears, and a lot of different companies, large companies that are offering these pension buyouts, and we have to start thinking, should we take that or not? And more people are coming to us asking us those questions.
Well, that's my question. If we're offered that lump sum, should we take it?
Well, first of all, Charity, everybody's different, and we have to recognize that everybody's an individual, and everybody that we sit down with, some people it makes sense, some people it doesn't, and we have to really take it as it comes. About 2 out of 5 of the people that I find out that we sit with, it's better to take the pension. But in the other 3 out of those 5 cases, we have to look and figure out how we can strategically manage these assets to create the income that they really desire and do it maybe in a better way.
So it definitely is a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, everybody is different, and we've really got to take into consideration a lot of different factors. And number one thing that we like to take into consideration is this money needs to last the rest of your life. This is your retirement fund, this is your pension, and so we at least need to create some guarantees. And those guarantees usually need to take care of those basic living expenses. We call this Core and Explore. Take care of those basic living needs, those core needs, and then we can go out and maybe take a little extra risk. Maybe it makes sense to take a little risk to create a little extra income and a little bit more capital preservation.
Give us an example of how this would maybe work.
Sure. What comes to mind is someone that we recently worked with, which was a GM retiree. And this was a GM retiree that came to us with about a $750,000 lump sum pension option. Or he could take a $40,000 amount that would be available for his wife and his wife's life. He could also take $55,000 a year for the rest of just his life. But what he really wanted to do was make sure that this pension would last the rest of his life, and he really wanted to make sure if something happened to him and his wife, or vice versa, that something would be left for the next generation. And so we had to take those different things into consideration, and first we built some guarantees into the plan. We took about half of that lump sum, and we guaranteed about $25,000 a year to take care of those basic living expenses that he had.
Right.
And then we took those other funds and we used a diversity of different high-income producing assets. We used very high-quality stocks, blue-chip stocks such as Pfizer, Pepsi, AT&T, Verizon, some high-quality dividend income-producing stocks there. And we also used some real estate investments and some gas and oil master limited partnerships to create a little extra income. At the end, we were able to create about $50,000 a year, which was almost equal to a single life pension, and we were able to preserve those assets. We built in some long-term care and home health care benefits, and once we were able to really take a look at the big picture and build a plan that he could trust in for the rest of his life, we saw this pressure lifted off of his shoulders, because this is causing so many people so much stress today, and you really need to work with someone that can take a look at that big picture and start to develop a plan that you can believe in for the rest of your life.
It is a big decision, because you a lot of times have to make the decision fairly quickly in the scheme of things, and it really can make a difference in how you can live and whether you can live comfortably for the rest of your life. Well, one thing we know for sure is that you should seek out the advice of a professional if you're facing this decision. So if you're in this situation or you know someone who is, you can always call Howard Bailey Financial. Give Casey a call, or you can email him, info@howardbailey.com. He'll be back again next Friday on Financial Friday and can answer your questions. You can always email those to him as well. We'll be right back on Insight.